This is Cryptids Comedians, a show where two stand-up comics talk about mythical creatures, legendary monsters, and fabled beasts the same way we talk about the night we sold out all of our merch after the first show and then spent the whole rest of the weekend directing people to our website so they could buy koozies and bumper stickers and keychains and whatever. I'm Thom Tran with my co-host Peter Murphy.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Peter here. Yeah, merch available, but we're sold out.
ThomTranShop.com is where you can go buy merch. Every week we talk about a different cryptid, and I tell Peter the history, lore, cultural significance, and pop culture references, and show him evidence if there is any, and he tells me why I'm wrong. Peter, as always, for people who are here for the first time or just don't know, can you tell us what a cryptid is?
Yeah, it's kind of like something that everybody is aware of. It's a cryptid is like a scenario where you're at the grocery store and it's the act of going to the grocery store with a list and forgetting what you went there for, and you end up getting a bunch of other things, but you didn't go there for the milk that you wanted. It's the act of a cryptid act.
That is totally new and completely unexpected. I didn't know there was a term for that.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's what cryptid is.
It is also incorrect.
Oh.
A cryptid is any creature or animal that's rumored to exist, but there's never been any scientific or hard evidence to prove its existence.
That makes more sense.
Yes. So now that we are out of Fat Pants season, it's officially Christmas season. So this month we are going to talk about cryptids with a Yuletide connection.
Ho, ho, ho.
Peter, we're going to continue the segment where I tell you the name of a cryptid, and you're going to describe what you think this creature looks like.
Okay.
This week, we're going to be talking about the Yule Cat.
The Yule Cat. Ooh. Yule Cat. That's like a cat that, you know how like some people will get their animals fur shaped in a certain way? Like, oh, my cat's going to look like a lion.
Like a lion cut.
Yeah, a lion cut. Oh, I guess you know what it is. Yeah. A Yule cut, or a Yule Cat, rather, is born just like that. Like where they have like a head, a normal head, but the hair just grows like a bell, like a Christmas bell. And then, throughout their body, they might have what most people would consider like unsightly, big balls and growths, but actually it's just like the way that fur grows in the shape of Christmas ornaments, traditional Christmas ornaments, and then Christmas trees. Not so dissimilar from, like a Little Debbie snack candy in the shape of like a Christmas tree, or a Reese's cup in the shape of a Christmas tree. Just a really festive cat. And also they're neon pink.
What I love is you don't know what we're talking about until I tell you.
Right.
So this is just coming off the top of your head.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I assume when you say Yule Cat.
Well, let me show you what the Yule Cat looks like. The Yule Cat is Iceland's terrifyingly fashionable Christmas monster.
From Iceland.
It is from Iceland. So, all right, you know how every culture has its own weird Christmas thing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, this is a real thing. The Yule Cat, or as they call it in Iceland, the Jólakaturinn?
That's correct.
Is it?
Yeah, it sounds correct. Yeah.
It's an enormous, shadowy, fur-covered beast that supposedly prowls around the snowy countryside at Christmas time, peering in windows and checking to see what you're wearing.
Whoa! Oh my God, it is.
It's supposedly a giant, giant cat. So if you've got some new clothes for Christmas, you're safe. If you don't, well, that's going to be a problem. The idea is the Yule Cat will literally eat anyone that doesn't have new clothes.
Doesn't have new clothes?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the least exciting gift as a kid. It's like, oh, that's just to get kids excited for new clothes. No, like, you open up a sweater from grandma, you're like, I don't want a sweater. I wanted like, a football or a video game. Right.
Now this might sound completely bonkers, and honestly, it kind of is. But there's actually a surprisingly reasonable explanation behind it. So let's dig into where this whole story came from and how Iceland managed to turn a laundry gilt into a full-blown monster legend. So let's talk about the lore. So picture this. The story goes back hundreds of years where we're talking like the Middle Ages, where Icelanders celebrated Yule, the old Norse winter festival that eventually blended into Christmas. Now, Icelandic folklore is usually full of trolls and ghosts and other creatures that look like modern Christmas movies. Were way too tame. But the Yule Cat is something special. In most versions of the stories, it's a massive black cat like this one. It's big enough to step over houses. It's got glowing eyes, and it's silent, stalking presence. It's said to look like a giant Norwegian forest cat, which we can recognize as having big ears and floof, or as we call him in my house, Mario, who normally is wandering around, making noise, and causing a ruckus.
Seriously.
But today, the day we do the episode about Mario, he is gone. You know what? I'm going to go get him.
Nowhere to be seen. He's shy.
All right, we're back with Mario.
Hey, that's a Yule Cat right there.
This is what a Norwegian forest cat looks like. And admittedly, Mario is not a very Norwegian name. But the Norwegian...
It's a plumber name. It's a name for a plumber.
This is what a Norwegian forest cat. So imagine the Yule Cat is a giant version of Mario.
Whoa.
Who steps over houses. It comes out on Christmas Eve, creeps around snowdrifts, looking for anyone who didn't get new clothes for the holiday. And if it finds you wearing the same old shirt from last year, it'll eat you.
What?
Yeah, it'll eat you. And it's not just a weird superstition. It actually comes from a clever bit of social engineering. So imagine this. Back in the day, Iceland's economy ran on wool production. Okay? Everyone, men, women, kids, they had to help shear sheep, spin wool, and make clothing before the holidays. And if the work didn't get done, people didn't have warm clothes for the winter. So someone, probably a very tired old farmer, decided to invent a story to motivate some of their workers. The deal was simple. It's basically the 14th century version of like, meet your deadline or else. So the idea is the Yule Cat wasn't just a random monster. It was a productivity myth, like a big, furry, carnivorous motivational poster. All right, so the Yule Cat wasn't just a singular animal. It was actually part of like a Christmas nightmare-fueled family. He was actually the pet of what are called the Yule Lads.
Oh my God! Yeah, these are like the antithesis of Snow White's Seven Dwarfs.
Yes,
they're like the Monstars of Space Jam, but in Snow White's version.
I love the Monstar reference.
Yeah, the Monstars,
the Silverhawks reference. So the Yule Lads, he was their pet, and they're going to be the subject of a later episode. So if you put it all together, you've got a chaotic Christmas family, including this giant cat that eats people who, they don't have new clothes. It's like a really darker version of the Addams Family Christmas special.
If you don't have new clothes, you get eaten.
Yeah.
Man, what a threat. What a sick threat. And also like what a way to motivate people. Like what a crazy conspiracy theory. Back in the day, conspiracy theories used to motivate you to work harder. Mm-hmm. Now conspiracy theories, I don't even know what they're for. They're just like for brain rot or like for no reason at all.
I think conspiracy theories now are for people who need to feel like there's a bigger, greater thing going on. Like for people who think like life is so mundane and it's so boring. My life is terrible. I work at this crappy job. I have these dumb kids, this ugly spouse, and and they feel like there's got to be something greater. There's got to be something bigger. So conspiracy theories are what they latch on to.
Organized religion. Exactly. That's crazy. But I kind of don't love, I don't hate a conspiracy theory that motivates you.
Right.
Just like, Santa. It encourages kids to be good,
right.
Like, hey, someone's watching you, you better be good, at the very least, so that, you can get some presents at the end of the year and at the most so that, you turn into a decent person. But getting eaten by a big cat, because you don't have new clothes, that's like, That's like, hey, oh God, you don't even have to like it. You're just like, all right, here, everyone go outside, take a picture with the cat, let them know you have new clothes. That sucks.
Well, there's actually a reason for it. Underneath the horror and the humor of this story, it actually gets deeper. The Yule Cat wasn't just about punishing laziness. It was about encouraging kindness and generosity.
Oh.
So not everyone could afford new clothes back then. So the legend evolved into a reminder, if you have enough, share it. Give something, even like a pair of socks, to someone who doesn't have it, so they don't get eaten by a giant cat.
Under the threat of being eaten. Be nice or be eaten.
So the Icelandic Christmas spirit was, be kind or face feline annihilation.
That's like way catchier than keep calm and carry on. The Brits should have picked something up from these Icelandic people.
As grim as it sounds, it kind of stuck. The Yule Cat became like sort of a moral compass, like an old school way to remind people to work hard, help each other, and finish your chores before the holidays. It's equal parts heartwarming and horrifying, which, to be fair, kind of describes 90% of Icelandic. So the thing is, part of the idea was because everybody in the family was meant to help with the chores, help with the wool. The idea was, if you have new clothes, if you do your chores during the season, you're given new clothes. Ooh. And that was their way of encouraging, help with the wool shearing. Now, if you've got frayed clothes, if it looks like your clothes are frayed, that means, you didn't help enough during the season. That's what it was.
Oh, to earn new clothes.
Yes.
Yeah. Because the ultimate, now kids get participation trophies. Back in the day, you just got clothes, or you're not getting clothes. Like, clothes are the initial participation trophies. Like, you participated, you helped with chores. But were the chores I imagine the chores were extreme. It wasn't just like dust. It was like, plow the field.
No,
right?
It was more
crops.
helping with shearing sheep.
Oh, yeah.
And turning that into wool, because that was such a huge part of their economy. So everybody in the family, parents, kids, had to take part of that.
And it's Iceland, so
yeah,
you need a wool sweater.
Exactly. So if you didn't help out during the season, you're not getting new clothes, and I guess kids need the reminder of, hey, there's a giant cat that's going to eat you if you don't have new clothes.
I mean, I'm motivated by that. Just I don't want to be eaten by a giant cat, so maybe I'll think of that in my head next time I'm trying to do something like good. It's like, oh well, like what, like, do you create like made up stakes? Like, if I don't make this like last jump shot, my family's gonna die, or like she'll.
First of all, you assume that I play basketball.
Basketball, yeah. If I don't make this next putt, like she won't say yes when I ask her out or something like that.
Okay.
Have you ever done something like that? I would do stuff like when I play basketball, I would always have to make the last shot, or else it would be bad luck.
Yeah, I've always given myself some sort of push.
Yeah. You got to do that.
Actually, the best way to explain it is like one of the reasons I have all these guitars.
Oh yeah,
is that there used to be an eBay deal, or was it PayPal? It's one of those where if you bought an instrument with PayPal credit, you have 6 to 12 months, 0% interest.
Whoa.
And I would tell myself, all right, if I buy a guitar, I have 6 to 12 months to pay this off. But if I miss a payment, or I have to start paying interest on this purchase, that's when I stop. That's when I'm done. That's why I can't buy any more guitars.
That's when you stop collecting guitars.
Yeah.
Wow, that will motivate you to work. Nothing motivates you to work more than like being backed into a financial corner or financial debt. Oh my God, that's so crazy. And then, did that ever happen? Did you ever miss a payment, or did you ever? I mean, I guess, did you ever have to pay interest?
No.
Really? Oh my
problem.
God. That's why you have like 20 guitars.
40.
What?
40 something. I think I just sold one yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well,
so I think that was my motivation. Like, hey, and it was always like, all right, I have 0% interest to pay. I have 6 months to, either sell a different instrument, work harder, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that I don't miss a payment and I don't pay interest. That was the thing. If I have to pay interest on a guitar, then I'm spending money that I don't have.
Yeah.
And that would be my motivation to go, all right, well, I have to work harder.
Yeah, you can't just work harder to work harder. You got to have some kind of like fire burning under your butt or a giant cat that's going to eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So PayPal credit is my Yule Cat.
True. Yeah. I have like 40 pairs of sneakers, and I just ended up in pretty serious debt in 2020.
Because of sneakers?
Because of sneakers, yeah. I just had too many sneakers, and I ended up in debt, and then I couldn't. My credit was so poor that I couldn't get an apartment, and so then in the pandemic, I was like, all right, I'm gonna work off these things. So maybe I'll find my own Yule Cat. I'll try and find my own Yule Cat.
Okay, explain to me how many sneakers you had and the whole sneaker head thing.
Oh yeah, from 2016 to 2020, I was like, oh man, all these great sneakers are coming out, and they were like, reminiscent of the best Jordan years, like 97, the Jordan 12s, and then the 13s were cool in 98, and then the 14s, and then like a bunch of like Penny Hardaway sneakers were coming out, and I was like, oh gosh,
Penny Hardaway.
Oh, dude, the man. I love Penny Hardaway, the original LeBron. LeBron took all of his moves from Penny. You can ask him, and yeah, I was like, oh man, I'm never gonna have an opportunity to have like cool sneakers like this, and like these were all the ones that I loved growing up. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go for it, and I took out a credit card, and yeah, it was fun, but now I barely wear them, and they just kind of like line the walls of my bedroom.
So what would they do? They just sit there?
Yeah, and if you don't wear them, they kind of like fall apart a little bit. But I wear them. Some are like stage sneakers. Like there are comics there are comics that in their rider require a pair of all white Air Force Ones.
I've heard of that.
And I'm not quite like that, but I don't like to have dirty shoes when I'm up on stage. So I'll save some for the stage, some for some performances, some bright shoes. But then other ones are just like, oh, cool, this will go with like a suit or something like that. And I found myself buying the same types of shoes. Like all my shoes are like black or blue or like white. Yeah, those are like the three cut. But I'm like, oh gosh, I have so many of these, and there's some of them are limited edition too, which is great. Then they have a story behind them.
There was a time where I wore Skechers slip-on shoes on stage because
Why? Were you performing
lazy.
in front of a bunch of 80-year-old like people at a retirement home?
No, I was just like, I don't care. And then at one point, somebody was like, I'm buying you shoes for Christmas.
Skechers slip-on. You're either like Tony Romo giving some type of motivational speech, or you're at a senior living home. It's like, hey, I wear these too. You guys are, you guys get me.
All right, let's talk about the Yule Cat in pop culture. We're gonna fast forward to modern times. The Yule Cat had a little bit of a makeover back in the 1930s, I think 1932, specifically. An Icelandic poet named Jóhannes Jór Kutlum wrote a poem called, oh my God, I'm going to destroy this, Jólakötturinn.
No, that's correct.
Several lines include, if outside one heard a weak meow, then bad luck was sure to happen. All knew he hunted men and didn't want mice.
Oh.
That's the kind of poem this guy wrote. That's how this cat was described. This giant hulking beast. It described the cat as terrifying Christmas creature that eats people without new clothes, but it also added a moral twist that giving clothes to the poor can save them from being devoured. Uh-oh. Now that poem became the definitive version of the story, and it's still popular in Iceland. Kids grow up reciting it the way we grow up reciting whatever.
Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
There we go. And it's kind of wild because when you think about it, just imagine sitting around a tree singing carols about getting eaten alive. That's essentially what they're doing.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Christmas songs would be totally different if they ended in like a horrifying twist. Just like, it's like, what's a good Christmas carol? What's one I heard? Honestly, my favorite Christmas song is Fairy Tale of New York.
Fairy Tale
by Pogues. I think it's an Irish band. It's like, yeah, it's unmistakable. It's like, they've got cars big as balls. Yeah, promise me Broadway was waiting for me. You never heard that one?
No.
And it's basically it's a couple insulting each other on Christmas and like unclaimed and like unfulfilled promises. And yeah, there's nothing better. Actually, you know what? That's probably closer to this, just a little less gruesome.
Right. Well, speaking of Christmas songs, there's of course Bjork, because
Bjork.
Of course there is.
Is she Icelandic?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And if you're gonna have a spooky Icelandic legend, you know Bjork's gonna eventually show up.
Bjork's got to be involved.
So the Yule Cat, that Yule Cat poem, she actually did a Christmas version of the song.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it public domain? Like most Christmas songs, right?
I mean, I think it's 75 years after the death of the writer, so maybe. But she actually turned it into a song. Because honestly, who wouldn't write a metal track about a gigantic monster cat that eats people for not buying sweaters? Oh, so she recorded this song, and they play it all year. Well, like all season long, every year in Iceland. So it's like the Icelandic murder cat version of All I Want for Christmas is.
The Icelandic murder cat anthem, like national anthem. Oh,
and
God,
if you ever visit Reykjavik, which is something I want to do around Christmas time, they have this gigantic statue of a Yule Cat downtown.
Oh my God.
It's enormous. They light it up with the Christmas lights, and it looks like it's about to either attack the Christmas market or audition for a kaiju movie.
Yeah, wow, that is so... Oh, wow.
Yeah. People love it. Families take pictures with it. Tourists do selfies.
Yeah.
It's gone from something that scared kids into working into something that like represents Icelandic holiday pride. Whoa. So somewhere along the line, this horrifying creature went from like nightmare fuel to a national mascot. So in closing, that's the Yule Cat, a massive, mysterious, man-eating furball that started its way to motivate people to finish their chores and ended up as an icon of Christmas folklore. What I love about the story is how weirdly practical the story is. Like, you work hard, be generous, make sure everyone gets a new outfit, or else a giant murder floof will eat you.
And you live.
Yeah.
And you live. Yeah. Provide for others or die.
Yeah. Provide for others or get eaten by a gigantic murder floof. And honestly, that's not really a bad holiday message. So this Christmas, when you're stressing about shopping or wrapping gifts, just a reminder, buy that sweater. Just buy the sweater, or you will get eaten by a gigantic murder floof. That's it for this episode of Cryptids Comedians. Peter, what do you think about the Yule Cat?
You know what? Just like all cryptids, and I'm just finding out what a cryptid is. Just like all cryptids, it's like some type of conspiracy to motivate children to be good, rather
or in this
than
case, people in general.
People in general, yeah, but also
Kids.
But also kids being happy about receiving clothes on Christmas or for the holidays, when we all know that that's not the case. You know, why couldn't these kids back in the day? Why couldn't they just get a new iPhone? Why couldn't they just get an iPad, a new device, a new tablet, something like that? And another useful cryptid for work and being a good person. Yeah, I guess there's no real reason to be a good person unless you're motivated to. I think of like Mr. Rogers asking for more money in front of the government.
Congress, yeah.
Congress, and they're like, oh wow, yeah, I guess you did. But of all the cryptids, this is the least likely to happen, to be real, because where do they go when it's not Christmas time? Where, like, is there a big colony? Is there a big murder of Yule cats? Well,
there is a story about one Norwegian cat that buries itself underground and waits there all year long.
Hibernates. Oh,
and it
okay.
Comes up and it just grabs people and animals.
Well, that makes sense because we all know the Earth is hollow and flat.
Yes.
So they have plenty of places to hide.
Real thing.
And yeah, well, okay, wow. I guess that's flips things up for me. This is the most likely to be true. However, could not be further from being real.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for Yule Cats for this episode of Cryptids and Comedians as we start the holiday season. Peter, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Find me on the internet, Peter Murphy, the comedian, .com, and then Peter _ Murphy on Instagram.
I am at _ Thom Tran, THOMTRAN. The show is at Cryptids and Comedians across the interwebs. Go to my website for tour dates, thomtran.com. The tour is pretty much over for the fall, the holiday season. It's just going to be me in LA working on new material for next year.
Yeah, come out and support Thom working out the new stuff. You might see one of his 40 guitars.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably, since we're working on material for new.
Mix it up. Throw, get a double-headed guitar in there. Maybe just bring a bass up. Nobody would see that coming.
Or I could bring my double-headed bass / guitar that I have over there.
Bring the whole family.
I can do that. All right, we will talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Give us a 5-star rating on the podcast player of choice, and like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.